Okay, so we just got the subway pass, so I can access the other two main maps of the game. So at the moment we're downtown, and we can move on to the corporate district, which is where I would continue with the main quest, or I can go to the West Residence District, which is pretty much the slums. Now, I've already done a bunch of side quests on this map, but there are actually a ton more to do. And pretty much the goal of this, instead of moving on, is to just exploit the game as much as possible and cheat my way so I can be as powerful as I possibly can, so I can continue with the main quest. Some of that involves doing side quests, but also I'd like to show some exploits you can do. So let's go down to the slums first.
It looks like you took the wrong line. You're in the slums. Go back to the other platform and take the train back to the corporate district if you want to talk to Cashew.
Now, there's one major side quest you can do here, but first off, I'd like to show off a glitch you can do to get more money. Since for the first chapter, the goal was to collect money and spend it all for the subway pass. So at this point, you would be kind of short unless you did all the side quests. Here, I did almost all of them, so I actually have 700 credits. But you can actually get a lot more, and you do that by going to an ATM. As simple as that. As a way to not cheat so much for that first chapter, the ATM in the previous map was broken, so to speak. So you can only access your account here. And I have, well, actually, first off, you actually have the account details for your character here straight off, but you can also find the details of other accounts if you want. So let's just type that in. 905 and 205, and you can get 500 credits straight away. Now, in the original Deus Ex, ATMs were really just a fancy computers which you logged in once, and they were pretty much unique per map, so there wasn't any kind of global system of ATM. So if you knew the ATM details from one map, you couldn't actually access it in the next map, if that makes any sense. Each computer had one login, and ATMs pretty much functioned that way. The Nameless mod actually does something quite extraordinary, and actually makes it so you can access ATM accounts across different maps, and it does this by some kind of coding magic. But because the ATM was disabled in the previous map, this actually creates a glitch where if you go back to the downtown district where the ATM was broken, and then you go back to the other map with an actively working ATM entity or whatever, all of the accounts reset.
I expect my employees to be capable of using the, quite frankly, pretty fucking simple subway system without getting completely lost. But welcome to the corporate district. Please come to my office at once. I am a busy man.
Yeah, so that's from the other faction.
Just got the report from the firewalls about the news.
And this is from the current faction. That's for the main quest.
Cashew will be pleased to see you're still capable of solving a problem without shooting everybody, unlike many others in your line of work. You should visit Cashew now. I'm sure he'll be eager to welcome you back to the city.
Yeah, so the main quest pretty much diverges into two factions straight away. But just to continue showing off this, if you log into the ATM account here, all the money is back. So you can just as long as you go back to the downtown district and then go back out, something with the data doesn't actually transfer or save across maps, so you can pretty much draw out infinite money, as much money as you want. Now this glitch does eventually break if you draw out money from this map. So as long as you don't withdraw money from this map, you just go back and forth between maps to reset the world state, you can pretty much get as much money as you want. So let's just do this one more time. Right back to this ATM. 905279. Another 500 credits. So easy. Since you know, I've played this game multiple times, I just have the walkthrough beside me, so I can just access all the other accounts if I really want. Because of that as well, if I really wanted to, I could just spawn credits if I really want to through the console, so I can just press summon credits if I really want to. And this creates 100 credits each time, so yeah. But you know, if you're playing fairly, quote unquote, it's a nice way to get a bit of extra money. Because if you, because for the most part, getting credits, you only get extra credits by doing bonus objectives like not killing everyone if you side with PDX, well, you generally get more money if you side with the bad guys, I think. So, anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a look around the slums, or the west side. I could probably make a reference to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that, living in the west suburbs or something.
Who are you?
I'm Trescon. What is this place?
This is the old clinic. Not being used for a long time, so we live here now.
How many of you live here?
Just me, Randy, old Tom, Coffin, Henry, and Jeff. And then there's the guys upstairs.
The guys upstairs?
We don't know what they're doing, they're real assholes. If we ask them what they're doing, they just insult us. And even if we say hello to them, they're real nasty. It's like we're not real people.
Well, technically you're not, you're a bunch of NPCs.
Just because he went upstairs. They say that they put up mines now, so we can't go up there.
Mines, eh? Sounds illegal.
Are you some sort of lawman?
Not really.
Sure.
I work freelance. But I'll probably check it out anyway.
Just don't say you talk to us. They wouldn't like that.
I won't say anything about you. Don't worry.
Okay, so it seems like we have gang members in the upper floor. So let's take a look up there. And they also have explosives. So let's just disarm those and take it for myself. Yoink. That'll be useful to show some of the secrets later, which I would like to show. So that's 2 explosives. And that's pretty much it here, I think.
Dude, I'm telling you, if the goats find out what we're doing, they're gonna frag us real good.
Those freaks ain't gonna know nothing till we're rich, bro. This shipment's gonna have more cash than you can count, and then we're out of here. Next time we need more creds, you know exactly how to do this. And we can just find somewhere else to set up shop, eh?
Yeah, alright. I'm not saying we're gonna get caught. It's just, it seems a bit risky to go up against those crazy people, I mean. Heard lots of stories about what they do to people they don't like.
Relax. Our only problem right now is those firewalls. We gotta
Well,
get past
building.
them to get this shit out on the streets. And that's your job. You got a plan, right? You said you had a plan.
Yeah, I got a plan. I know this guy in FTP Express who's driving PDX deliveries once in a while. He says he can fix me up with a shipment of used ink buckets, right? We'll just fill this here milk.
Ah, okay, whatever, I'll just shoot them.
Through the checkpoints. We'll be...
Yeah, for a bunch of nameless enemies, there was a lot of dialogue and backstory there. Okay, so what can I find here? A bit more money and a grenade. And that's pretty much it. Looks like some kind of drug lab where they make milk. It says crystal milk. No idea what that is. So yeah, there isn't really much going on here in this map, although there is one major side quest where I can kind of unlock a bunch of shortcuts, but I'm not really sure if they're great shortcuts. So we just go here to Yard Bomb's Voodoo Shop. Hello.
I really don't know. I built this shop myself. You need to have a strong and well-balanced voodoo to run a shop like this. I doubt anybody at World Corp would understand what's going on here.
Don't worry, Mr. Yardbomb. You will still be in charge of running the business. WorldCore will just take care of the economics.
You mean you'll take all my profits?
We'll take care of your economics. If you have a bad
business.
year, we'll compensate you for your losses. And yes, if not, we will take the profits. But think of the benefits. Your position will be a lot safer. You'll be on a steady salary, no matter the number of customers that come to the store.
Yes, but won't you just be able to fire me if you figure you don't like how I run the business?
Yes, but of course we'll need a valid reason. We won't want to be on bad terms with your union, now will we?
What union?
I don't know.
Mr. Yardbomb, listen. We have held the majority of stocks in Salt Bar and Grill now for nearly half a year. Have we at any point interfered with the way they've run their business?
Well, no. But you don't own them. You're only stockholders, even if you have the majority.
All right. I'll leave you to consider.
Why would a big company want to buy out a tiny little shop that sells weird paraphernalia, voodoo stuff?
Imagine the possibilities. Goodbye, sir.
The dangers of the corporate world. Let's take a look at what he says.
Hello, sir.
Ah, hello. You must be Trescon. I read they assigned you the responsibility of finding Mr. Diablo.
Yes. You knew him?
He came here once in a while, yes. Only to talk, though. To check up on how things were going in these parts of the city. He never took much interest in my wares. Of course, if I knew anything about his disappearance, I wouldn't have hesitated to tell PDX about it. Besides the fact that Dee Dee and I got along rather well, I could really use that 500 credit reward.
Of course. Say, I overheard your conversation with the representative from WorldCorp.
You were eavesdropping?
Well, I was standing right there.
Yes, I couldn't really help it. There's not a lot of room here, and I must admit I was a little curious.
That's really not very nice. But I guess no harm was done. Yes, he was trying to convince me to sell the shop to WorldCorp.
Yes, so I gathered. What do you think you're going to do?
I haven't decided yet. It's such a big decision. It needs to be thought over.
Would you care to hear my advice?
Sure. What do you think?
So, not much really happens here. If you tell him to sell, the shop will be closed in the second half of the game when the next day comes by, which means that you just can't buy anything. There isn't really much stuff sold here though, but yeah, as long as you just do everything you need on this day related to Yard Bomb, It's pretty much no difference.
I'd advise you not to sell out to WorldCorp. You're purely interested in profits, and most likely they'll make sure you run this shop like a business. If you don't do everything they say, they'll just replace you with somebody who does.
Yes, but I have to be realistic. In a few years, someone else might get the idea of making another curio shop in another part of town, and I'll lose half my customers.
Really? Would they make another one?
Then my profits will be cut in half, and I'll be forced to sell out to WorldCorp
Wouldn't really
anyway.
know.
And this time, they set the terms.
If that happens, there might be other interested buyers you can sell your shop to. Buyers who don't just want money. Or maybe you can even campaign for investors to help you modernize your shop to draw some more customers in.
But almost everything in Forum City is underwater.
I'm pretty sure all of this is sailing over my head.
Years
It's
king will
it's
own
business
the
stuff.
entire city.
Maybe so, but his influence in other forums is still quite small. And there are other companies there that will do anything to keep it that way. One of those companies might invest in your shop. Time will tell, and I dare say, closing down the shop would be a better solution than selling it to WorldCorp.
I guess you're right. I'd rather blow the building up than hand my work over to Scarab B. King. I'll give it some consideration. So, is there anything you want while you're here?
Not today. Maybe I'll be back another time.
Well, alright. Feel free to browse the items I have on display.
Okay, so let's look around a bit first, before I start the main side quest for the Slums District. So, as you can see, this is the voodoo shop. It seems to be struggling. Not a lot of stuff here. Just a bunch of random junk, really. There's some kind of religious statue, there's flowers, there's eyeballs, and there's also meat. And warning, extra dimensional hallway may cause nausea. Okay. Trippy. Ooh. So, I think something's gone a little timey-wimey. Well, not so much timey-wimey, but there's a floating head. I'm sure he's great conversation. There's a mysterious door with glowing stuff. And here are two fairly valuable items behind keypads and stuff. Some kind of pipe and a sword, fancy sword there. And whoop. Okay. Oh, that's kind of. How does that even work? It's just bending up over itself. Just. Right.
I'm glad to see that you have returned, Frescon.
Yes, it was amazing, Odyssey.
Well, I was wondering about that wooden door with the strange markings and the green glow in the extra-dimensional hallway.
Yes, that's my own transportation system. I don't much fancy that subway stuff. Too many people. It's below my dignity to travel in a tin can on wheels. My own system has more class.
How does it work, your system?
By means of voodoo, of course. Remember who I am. If you're
magic.
interested
Works
in
with
finding
magic.
out exactly what I mean, I could grant you access. But only my close friends have access. You would have to do me some favors to get the key.
What sort of favors?
I need some ingredients for a ritual I'm performing tomorrow at sunrise. I could have fetched them myself, but I had some other business to take care of today, so I lost a lot of valuable time. Now I don't know if I have time to gather the ingredients and do the rest of my preparations before sunrise.
And you need me to gather those ingredients.
Correct. It's a simple search and gather job. If you get me all the ingredients, I will trade you the key to the transportation system.
Sounds simple enough. I'm sure I just need to collect some random ingredients like herbs and stuff like that.
I need 4 items. The blood of a rabid dog, snot from a carcayan, the fangs of a vampire, and a stick of uranium.
What?
I have been told by my spiritual contact
Spiritual
that all of
contact.
these items are to be found in this part of the city. Where to look is for you to find out.
Alright, I'll see what I can find.
Come back when you got them all. I don't want one at a time. I need all of them. Okay? Goodbye.
Where on earth can I get a stick of uranium? I'm sure the other stuff would be easy to find, relatively speaking. Now I have done this quest before, of course. I've played through this whole game, so I do know where to find it. But yeah, let's just do this. Now, first off, let's go get the fangs of a vampire. I thought this was a cyberpunk game. So let's just open this. This is locked. Let's just pick the lock here. So, in this random little garage, oh, well, what do you know?
A mortal.
A vampire.
Why have you come to
Why on
my
earth is he
castle?
living here? I don't know.
Your castle? You challenge fate with your impudence, mortal. Why are you here?
Who are you?
I am Nosferatu.
Nosferatu?
I am undead. A vampire.
Is that so? In that case, you have something I need.
What is this of which you speak?
Fangs.
You wish me to share with you the curse of undeath?
Not quite. I want to kill you and take your fangs.
That's fairly...
Fool. How dare
He's
you
being a bit
challenge
upfront about
me?
that, isn't he?
These words will be the last that you utter.
We'll see, vampire.
Quote unquote. This guy has a lot of health. He's missing everything. Oh, what is this AI? That took a bit longer than I thought. And now I have some teeth. Ugh, and this thing is covered with blood. Let's just leave that there. Ew, this is pretty gross. That is wine, actual wine. Let's break this crate here. It's got some ammo, and before I forget, let's just reload here. Now there is a reason why I threw away that sword, and that's because I am going to get an upgrade soon. Now there are two options really. With the money I kind of cheated with, I can just buy that sword by Yard Bomb, and I could do that just as soon as this stuff finishes loading. Any minute now, it's a big game. There we go, I have 3,000 credits. I could do that just to show it off, but there is actually another seller in this direction. So I can go here to this guy.
Hey man, you looking for something?
Excuse me?
Of course you are, man. Else you wouldn't be down here, stumbling through the godforsaken alleys of the slums of the glorious F.C., man. Bereft of any sense of direction, hoping that you might fall into the arms of a benevolent spirit and avoid the lurid stares of the walking dead. Predators of the night.
That's very eloquent.
You want to buy some other legal items?
Yes.
Ah, that's better. Such as?
I got one of these AUG upgrade thingamabobs for a kilo of the green ones. A nanosword for 1.5 and any of 3 different weapon mods for 500 apiece.
So, nanosword, that's the Dragon's Tooth sword, which is the strongest melee weapon in the game. Let's just grab that.
A nanosword for 1,500, you say?
I do indeed. Excellent bargain if you ask me why.
Sounds good to me.
And I'll take that.
Here you go.
Here you go. Nice to carry out illegal transactions with you, man.
Yeah, you too. See you around.
So, that's the Dragon's Tooth sword. If I kill this guy, he actually won't drop any items. So let's talk to him again and get that augmentation upgrade.
I could most certainly use an augmentation upgrade. You said 1,000.
Yeah, man.
Alright, hand it over then.
Here you go. Nice to carry out illegal transactions with you, man.
Yeah, you too. See you around.
Now, the weapon mods would be useful, but I don't really need them, I think. Let's just see what he has to offer. I can't remember.
Which weapon mod?
Have a look.
Great, you have all the useless ones. Reload, recoil, and clip.
Great. You have all the useless ones.
Everyone's a critic.
Maybe another time.
Alright, check back. You ever need anything, man?
So, I can't remember which mod it came from. Either it was this one, or it's because I'm using Shifter. I really can't remember. But I am going to upgrade my flashlight with this, so it doesn't drain energy. This is kind of important because this is a dark game, like the lighting isn't really great. I suppose I could turn up the gamma, but instead let's just turn on the flashlight and leave it on pretty much permanently. Now, this will pretty much carry me through the entire game. I don't need to upgrade my low-tech weapon skill at all. It's still the same overpowered Dragon's Tooth sword from the original game, and I pretty much have it straight off the bat. Of course, this is only useful if I can get within melee range, which I can kind of do half of the time. So let's just get to this guy. There we go. There's the... Ugh, why did he turn into a cat? Okay, so that's one more item. Let's drop down here. That is a really, really big vent. Biocells. Oh, I forgot to duplicate these actually. So, more exploits. If you press the use key more than once in a frame, you can just duplicate it. Same for these medkits. And these lockpicks. Let's see what's here. There's a key. And let's head back out. Now, finding a rabid dog was kind of weird for me because there's a regular dog over back there, But yeah, it's actually kind of hidden at the end of an alley, which is just this way. Ouch. And it conveniently turns into a bottle of vodka. That said, the most difficult one is actually finding the stick of uranium, and that's actually because I remember having a ton of difficulty with that when I first played, for two reasons actually. First off, this map is dark, so you can't really see what kind of buildings you can enter. You can't actually enter most of these, so I assumed that you couldn't assume. So I assumed you couldn't enter any, but you can actually enter this building, but only from this ladder here and the scaffolding, fire exit rather, and this certainly does not look like a ladder, so it's a bit of an issue in the way the level's designed. But anyway, what do you know? There's some random uranium here. How strange. You can disable that panel if you want, but you can just pick up the container because it's just far enough for you to interact with. And there we go, we've got some uranium. So yeah, because this spot is so dark, I could never actually figure out that I could actually climb up here. I think I actually ended up using the walkthrough actually to find the uranium originally, or maybe the forum. It really did take ages. In any case, that's all 4 items, so let's take a look at the shortcut.
I got the objects you wanted.
Great, give them here.
Here. This is all of them.
Perfect. Now nothing can stop me from achieving. Okay. You earned your key.
That sounds a little suspicious.
Enjoy the teleporters.
Teleporters? Wow, that'll save me some money in the long run.
Well, that's the idea. Not to mention it's a lot faster than that bloody train. Well, I got some conspiring to do. I'll probably talk to you later. Don't hesitate to return if you need anything else.
Right. Nice working for you then. I'm definitely not going to keep an eye on you. I'm pretty sure you just wanted the uranium. So, teleporters. So this is pretty much an alternate way of going across the 3 main maps. And it's just a series of doors. So I can go here, downtown, if I really want. And it's not really a... Yeah, it's not really a series of teleports as much as it is a series of portals. So you can see here... and somehow walked into a different place. Just like, I'd say it's bigger on the inside, but it's really not. I just noticed though, considering the lighting system here, this isn't the first Unreal Engine after all. You can actually see the edge of the portal, because light actually does not go through. So yeah, so that line there is where the portal is. You can hear the ambient rain is also stopped. So yeah. Weird. That's weird. I think that's pretty much it. I can get the sword but that'll fill up my inventory. Just as soon as this. Let's see, I have 500 credits. Let's just show the sword anyway. Which way was it? Oh, here we go. So this sword is actually really expensive. So this is why you might want to keep the shop open for the second day, if you want to buy this. But it's really just there because it's a fancy, you know, Japanese sword. Compared to the Dragon's Teeth sword, it's still it pretty much still pales in comparison. Now let's just head over to the maybe the corporate district now. Let's take the portal instead. Right, so here, I'm actually on the other side of the map compared to the subway, but yeah, it's not really clear how useful it is because of that. The subway is kind of in a central location, and if you kind of want to sneak around some of the stuff in the back here, I suppose the portals would be useful, but I didn't really see it that way. That said, that's another place I can go into. And that's, yeah, this probably isn't useful since I'm coming from the portal rather than the subway. So the subway is over there. And it is a huge map. Pretty easy to get lost in. Yeah, huge, absolutely huge. Something that is a little bit useful though is if you came out of the subway, you can talk to this guy.
Excuse me, could you help me with something?
Hey, you're Trustcon, right? I'm Zero Hero. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Could you tell me the way to PDX and WorldCorp?
Sure. I think PDX moved their HQ to the old GITM. It's on your right when leaving the station. WorldCorp is to the left. Huge and intimidating building. Very difficult to miss.
Alright, thanks a lot.
I can draw you a map if you want.
Map?
Right now?
Sure. I got this napkin I can draw up a quick map on if you don't mind a bit of shoddy artwork.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let's see. That street from down there. And across here. And then a bit of a turn. And that one goes a bit longer, I think. About here, isn't it? And then Ravings is down here. Oh, you mustn't forget King's Tower, even if the reception is closed this time of day. Right, I think that's it. Here you go.
Wow, thanks. This is, really great.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So as weird as this is, this actually is a really good map. It's kind of weird. But it really is nice that, you know, someone was nice enough to do this. So yeah, this pretty much outlines all of the major locations here. This is pretty much where most of the game kind of takes place, or at least where a lot of different stuff is. So you have the main HQ for both factions, as well as the weapon shop, as well as a couple of other things. But yeah, it's really nice. There's the downtown map, which highlights a lot of stuff as well. And again, it's just a huge map. The slums is really the only one that seems to suffer quite a bit, because you don't really see it that much. Continuing on though. Now, of course, like I said, my main goal is to, well, two main goals is to kind of equip myself for the rest of the game, just gear up as much as I can, as well as to show off some of the secrets. So let's switch tracks a bit and actually gear myself up by going here. I've duplicated 3 out of the 4 main items, but I still only have 1 multi-tool, and unfortunately I do need to just go to the shop for that. There is no second multi-tool you can really find. Or rather, you can find one, but it's here. So, hello.
Hello. Welcome to Raving's Weapons Shop. I am Andreas, the one and only sales assistant, and pretty damn good at it, if I do say so myself.
Hi.
Hello.
So, what can I do for you, sir?
I'm here to empty my locker.
Ah, yes. What's your name?
Trescon.
Wait, the Trescon? Trescon the ex-agent?
Mm-hmm.
Trescon who saved Raving's life once?
Yeah.
It was hardly an epic act of heroics, more of coincidence.
Don't be modest. That's a waste of time. Say, I got something for you. If you're a friend of Raving's, you're a friend of mine. And if you saved his life, you're an even greater friend of mine.
You have something for me? Why do I already get the feeling that this is going to be slightly illegal?
Illegal?
Yay.
No
Illegal.
way. Not a very lot. Well...
Alright. What do you got?
A napalm launcher.
Let me guess.
A napalm?
Experimental?
Extremely. Not any less dangerous, though. I've been having a bit of fun with it on the firing range.
What's the price tag?
Because it's you, 1,000 credits, and that's cutting my
1,000. That's a bit much. Let's just get stuff from the
But
locker.
for now, I'll just get my stuff from that locker.
You do that. Your locker is the second one from the right in the middle row on the side facing the door.
Thank you. I'll be back if I decide to buy that napalm launcher.
Kind of weird you remember that. I'd expect there to be numbers. In any case, this is the weapon shop. This is something you don't see in Deus Ex at all. But there are basically lots and lots of little lockers here. And you can interact with this. One of these to buy something if you really want. There are also vending machines, so you can pretty much buy as many mods as you want. All of the basics. So there is a lot of opportunities to spend credits. But you can always just play the old Deus Ex way and just find the items yourself and kind of be smart about it. I can pick up some ammo here in the firing range, and let's just empty my locker. Which one was it? There it is. Here we go. So here is as soon as it finishes loading, let's just drop that, put the sword there. Now here is really the fancy weapon of the game, which is a bunch of dual pistols. Fancy. I never really found much use for this because I do have the silenced pistol here, but if you really just need DPS and you want to feel cool, this is pretty cool as well. So I also have some ammo here. Let's just clone that as well. Not really much use for EMP grenades. But let's just sort these items around. Now there are some other items I can get here as well if I break all the lockers. Not a lot though, but let's just throw a grenade here anyway. Those are some really weak safes. Okay, nothing's really destroyed permanently. There's some gas grenades. Oh, that's not broken. Ugh. Actually, I wonder if... Nope. Okay. A little bit of ammo. Flares. Bit of money. There's a note there. Yeah, guess it didn't break everything. And if you go up to this office here, just turn on the light. I should be able to find a multi-tool right there. So now I can just clone my multi-tools. And there you go. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. I won't be exploiting this too much, because, you know, you're kind of supposed to just upgrade your hacking and lockpicking skills. But it's kind of handy because if you didn't do that, you'd have to raise your skills for one, but you'd also have to go back here and buy stuff if you really want to play that way. Or be very selective about where you go. So resourcefulness and all that. And here is another old friend, Raving. Raving Nutter.
Raving? You see your old friend for the first time in 2 years, and then you ask me if you can help me?
Sorry, I'm not good with words. Why are you back? Have you seen Alpha yet?
Yeah, I have.
Good. He was quite upset when you left without saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's happy to see me again.
It's obscuring his face. Camera angle.
I've done my best. But listen, I wanted to ask you if you know anything about the commotion in the administration. I was asked to investigate Deus Diablo's kidnapping.
I'm afraid I know nothing of that. I do have some other interesting information for you, though. It may help your investigation.
What about?
WorldCorp and PDX both.
Oh, do tell.
It may not be much help, but I have a contact in the DxO who reckons that PDX is not administered by Despot. He reckons that there's some sort of outside influence.
Like what?
He wouldn't tell me.
So one of the DxOers who are sworn enemies of PDX has told you that
Conspiracy.
Despot isn't the real leader of PDX, but he wouldn't tell you who is then. That sounds unreliable. Sorry.
Yeah, alright.
Well, it is a Deus Ex game though, so I'm sure that someone is controlling something.
A few months ago, I sent Andreas on a scouting mission to dig up some incriminating data on WorldCorp. He found a set of floor plans depicting a subterranean level beneath the WorldCorp building. Here, look at this.
Andreas? You sent the kid on a scouting mission?
Well, you see, I've been working with a couple of the PDX guys for a while. Jonas created some augmentations for Andreas, so he could do all sorts of things like cloak himself or connect directly to a computer without any other interference than his mind. Evil Invasion coded a program to protect Andreas from WorldCorp's aggressive security system.
So you've been turning Andreas into your own personal covert agent. Why?
So I could keep an eye on WorldCorp, of course. We wanted to know what those scumbags were up to.
So you sent him into WorldCorp and he got these blueprints for you?
Yes. Unfortunately, Andreas came back half demented and with malfunctioning logs because of the Black Ice system protecting the confidential data system. Whatever you do, don't hack into those systems unless you really know what you're doing. Andreas only survived because of the cut-down version of Black Ice that Evil made for him.
So Jonas from PDX made Andreas' augmentations.
Yeah, Weaver is the only way to get augs around here other than WorldCorp.
Oh, he said Weaver. It's supposed to be Waver.
I'll remember that.
Watch out, though. He's a total punks.
So that's actually a really big side quest that I can do, where I break into like the secret level of WorldCorp, which is one of the sides. Which is pretty much the bad guy faction, so to speak. I can do that if I want. It mainly just gets me some extra items, of course. But other than that, that's yeah, pretty much all to find here. I can grab more items here, so like I can grab the ammo here, some rockets, some mines. I can also just break into all of these boxes and get whatever I want as well. I'm pretty sure there's actually supposed to be a security system here, so if I break into one of these, a bunch of turrets come out of the ceilings, I think, and you just shoot me. But in the latest version of this mod, it actually ended up breaking, so that's another thing we will be exploiting. Yay! Now let's see here. There it is. There's the GEP gun, so I'll just be grabbing the GEP gun now. Just hack this credit card reader. And there we go. There's the GEP gun. There are also other weapons I can grab as well. I believe all of the items here reset by the second day, so if you really want stuff, you should probably just grab it here. I'm not really sure if there is anything else I want though. There is stuff like camouflage, there's armor, there are these LAWs, LAWs, sniper rifles. But for the most part, I really don't need anything else. I think I just have a pistol, a sword, an alternate pistol, and explosives, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's switch tracks again and go back to showing a few more secrets. Now you may have seen me using this thing here, where the entire screen goes blue and time slows down, and this is actually a bullet time ability. It's infinite, the entire game slows down. It really makes the game much easier as well, and you need to unlock this. There are really two ways to unlock this. The first one is to get the secret ending, and to do that you need to kind of discover a few different Easter eggs around the map. And the other option is to just go into your configuration file and unlock it that way. Just, tick a box. I don't remember actually getting that ending, and I think I just enabled it. So that's going to be my goal. That happens at the very end of the game where you need to pick your ending. So just like in Deus Ex, you have multiple endings and the final mission changes depending on which you want to do. One more thing. This is kind of neat. So if I destroy this garage door, I get a secret room. There are also... yeah. So this game, the Nameless mod, actually came out about a year before Deus Ex Human Revolution came out, and because of that, like Eidos Montreal actually sent the team 2 pieces of concept art, which is exclusive to them, and ended up getting included here as an Easter egg. It's pretty cool. Now, if I did not unlock it or cheat to get it already, you can also find an Easter egg here, which is quite literally an Easter egg, which is another secret you can get. I'm not going to show all of them because I've never actually found all of them, but if you do find all 16 throughout the game, you need to play the game multiple times actually, you do unlock some kind of silly mode at the end. It's really not that great. It's the Radish Adventure, and yeah, it's really not that great. Now, to kind of unlock bullet time and also unlock access to the secret ending, you kind of have to find these things called Narcissus events, and they're kind of just things that break the fourth wall, really. So, you know, since this is a mod made by fans of the game, there are lots of references to lots of things, you know, pop culture. Every NPC here is based on a real person from the forum, but it also, you know, kind of makes has some fun, rather not make fun, but like it has fun with all the things that Deus Ex had, and it also has some points where it breaks the fourth wall. One of them, and I believe there are 5, according to the walkthrough, but 3 of them are relatively easy, and you need to find at least 3 of them to open access to the secret ending and unlock bullet time. And they're basically just a different set of Easter eggs, which kind of break the fourth wall and reference things. The first one... Oh, right, everyone's hostile here.
Welcome back, Tristan.
I'll deal with that later. So the first one is in this apartment. And, yeah, as you can see, I've already taken care of the place. And it just has to do with the secret wall here. So, you just break that bit of wooden wall. I should probably take care of that as well. So you break that wall. And you find some weird room with someone's photo. So all you have to do is stand inside this room and it counts. And that's actually a picture of Phasmatis, apparently. It's one of the first characters you meet in the game. Apparently just standing in here counts, there's no other reference that indicates that you've triggered it. Not really sure, but we'll just see when we get there. Another one, the second one you can find, is if you kind of explore the edge of the map here. This is a really big map, but there are also some places which don't look like they're accessible, but they actually are. So if you go back to this, if you kind of go up to this ridge here, there's really nothing of note. But you can find a couple of items here, I think. So you can find an item over there. This robot here. Medkit. Weapon modification. Let's not bother. They're not really useful. And that's pretty much it. But if you continue along this ridge, save here, and actually continue even further here. You can actually go to the edge of the map. Right into the void. Yeah. And there's a secret right there. So, cat picture, the Matrix, and some weird data cube. Something to read. So this is the second one. I think you just read this. Right, and you get a message.
It is about the fabric from which your worlds flesh. It is a rare chance for a creature as primitive as you.
So that message, very, very spooky. Ooh. That's essentially the representative of the fourth wall. So it kind of represents, you know, I guess the creators of the game, and talking in a meta sense. So if you ever do a sequence break, you will actually get messages from that. But here, this data cube, there's some very unusual text in here. I don't think you can see it because I'm streaming in a low resolution, unfortunately. Because, you know, that's the best my internet can do. But you can see here that's actually a script. So it says here, Easter egg stuff, variable, integer for eggs, variable boolean, unlocked bullet time, lots of different quest flags, and different stuff that's saved for your game state. So this is actually the entire script for the player character. So it's nice. So it even includes all these weird comments as well. So you can make mortals, so there's some code here for creating, for actually crafting items, using a bottle and something. There's like player states, a script for quick saving. So it's pretty much the entire script for the player entity, which is very long. Wow, that's really long. Jeez, how long is this? Oh, right, another thing as well. Something that's kind of neat here. This actually has multiple pages. Oh, okay, I should probably stop then. Right, one thing I will show though is that I can actually just shoot this. Ow.
A peculiar impulse to attack one's own reflection in the water. Such behavior can be dangerous.
Sorry. Hello, Hawky Bird. I didn't know someone was still working on the Nameless mod. I think everything's already been explored so far. Are you part of that 1.0.5 update thing, or not? Because I know that, like in the forum, Jonas... Okay, so I don't know about that. I know that, I think I was looking in the forum recently, and Zero Presence, I think, was kind of working on an official 1.0.5 update, but it kind of fell apart, I think. And its files are scattered all over the place. I don't know about... Oh, I thought it was called 1.0.5. But yeah, nice to see that, you know, someone here was watching me. For the most part, were you here for me? No, this is, there was really only one major glitch I wanted to show, I think, in this session. Otherwise, it was just showing how to get the Easter eggs and stuff. Were you here at the... Oh, okay. So you've seen the ATM thing. I think that's pretty much it, actually. That's the only thing I figured out. What was his name? The guy who wrote the walkthrough, which I consulted. He pretty much highlights everything that I know of. But the only thing... the ATM glitch is really the only thing that has not really been explained well. as far as I'm aware. I'm not an expert at this game either. I've just been following his walkthrough. So he couldn't explain the ATM glitch either, and Jonas couldn't figure it out. But I have figured out the properties of it. I think that's really the only glitch I can show you. Do you need another explanation for that, or? Yeah, that's really all I have. Otherwise, I'm just kind of demonstrating the game and showing it off. Personally, I tell you to leave it in because, well, it's apparently really complicated, that whole ATM system. But yeah, it pretty much just has to do with, I think, how the world state is transferred from this map to every other one. Because if you empty the ATM here, like this is... So the world state can't be received into this map, but it does go out. So that's really the only thing I know of. So if I empty the account here, where's that ATM number? So if I withdraw money here, and then go to the next map, it will update properly. So it's not so much... Like, my impression is that it's... yeah, not so much a reset as it is the world state not being transferred. Okay, that's cool. It's nice to see that something's going on though. It's 10 years old. I thought everyone kind of moved on. It's kind of nice to know it got figured out though. I mean, most of the discussion should be occurring on Discord, so like I'm not keeping track of that. I've only just been checking the forum every now and then, so all I really know is that like the downtown map got shrunk, but apparently the map files are scattered all over the place. Like I said, last I checked, whatever Jonas was doing at least, his files kind of got scattered all over the place, and he kind of stopped working on it. So it's kind of back in limbo, I think. I don't know. Yeah, so 905-279. 2049. Oh, that's weird. Ooh. There's actually money in here again. That's weird. Maybe it has something to do with the subway. I'm sure, like, when I first discovered this, pretty much all I did was just go with like a full loop in the subway, and that's how the thing reset. That's the first time I actually used the Yard Bomb's portal system. It's apparently a very complicated thing, this ATM thing. Let's take a look here. I'm pretty sure at this point it's gonna be 0. Yeah, now it's 0. Why on earth did that reset? Mystery! The only thing I really know is that this is really, really super complicated. I have no idea how it works. I can only use my general idea of how engines work and how, you know, global variables and whatnot. I don't think global variables exist in Unreal Engine, which is why shouldn't work. Huh. This requires a little bit more fiddling, I think. Let's look at the ATM one more time. One more time. Wait, nope, that's the wrong button. No, that's 0. Why on earth could I withdraw it one more time there? When was the last time I saved? Oh, this is not something I want to experiment with on stream. That's gonna burn a lot of time. I mean, it kind of reminds me of how the Zelda Oracle games got cut down to 2 games instead of 3 because of the whole linking thing was so complicated. I'm pretty sure the ATM thing would be the same. What was I doing here? Right. let's just rewind a little. That was really the only glitch I wanted to show because I'm sure there are other people who are more dedicated. So that's TressCon.
It is upon the fabric from which you were wrought, flesh. It is a rare chance for a creature as primitive as you.
Right, I think that's the second flag. Since I've never done this, I'm not really sure if I got the flag for finding that picture of Phasmatis. Since all I did was walk in the room like the walkthrough told me. I'm pretty much just gonna have to play through the entire game to know that there is something, like the actual state got updated. But anyway, that's the second Narcissus event, so to speak. The third one that you can get right away does require you to pretty much just outright cheat. More so than the cheating that I've been doing so far. What you have to do, if I don't immediately get lost, is head to one of these buildings and climb to the top of it. And this is, given the size of this map, it's actually rather difficult to find. I even tried following the walkthrough and it didn't really describe it well enough for me. It just said a brown building and, well, you know, since this is Deus Ex, everything here is a very dark brown building. So I kept trying to climb up and wander around the top of Party Zone, which is obviously brown. But it's actually the top of this one, and you can find a secret. Now apparently this is a reference to something you can find in Deus Ex. You can find some kind of idle NPC, you know, something that's kept in reserve off-map. Like how, you know, how you usually design levels. By climbing to the top of the building. And if you weren't cheating that much, you would actually use grenade climbing. And this is very, very, very finicky. Because you need to essentially just climb on top of these and inch your way to the very top. Much slower than bomb jumping on Metroid or something like that. And it is a very, very high height. So I'm just going to open the console and fly up. So let's type in Ghost, straight to the top. And there we go. You can find King Cashew. Walk.
What were you expecting, Max Chen?
Apparently him talking is the flag, to indicate that this is an Easter egg. Honestly, I expected the Narcissus entity to speak to me every single time, but I don't know. I just cheated to get bullet time, so let's see if that all works in streaming session number 12. And this is session number 2. So let's just go straight to the bottom. In terms of glitches, now that you've asked, there's really just the ATM one, which is an outright glitch. But there is one during the first chapter. So I do kind of mention this in the previous stream. That was a really awkward recording, I think, because I was actually trying to redo it. It was my second take of the recording, but it pretty much has to do with all the different quests you have that you have to get money for the subway ticket, right? So you can get a total of about 2,070 something credits in this map in the first chapter before getting the subway pass. And you can also sequence break all of them except for one. So, like for example, you can get Jimmy Cracker's painting first and give it to him. You can rescue the guy, bring it to Abomination. You actually can't do this for getting the floppy disk, so you can't actually get the floppy disk first. I'm guessing it's just the order of events that triggers his dialogue. Something else takes priority. You can probably see this in the previous recording, but if you have the floppy disk and bring it to him straight away through sequence breaking, it pretty much goes straight to giving the thing over and never actually negotiating for credits. So you actually can't get that 360 credits or something. So at the beginning of this session, I actually had 1,700 rather than the 2,000 I intended on having, because I brought the floppy disks to him first. Not really, no. And hello, Toro. That quote actually comes from Human Revolution, which is the third game, and only in the trailer. This is the original game, all made all the way back in 1998, I think. But this is actually a massive mod, which kind of just replaced the entire game with its own custom campaign. So it's a very, very unique scenario. It's something I really find fascinating as well, because everyone here is like this entire scenario. Yeah, I suppose. That said, the Nameless mod is actually a full custom campaign. Kind of like Nehrim or Enderal for the Elder Scrolls. So it uses the base engine and some of the Deus Ex assets, and pretty much makes an entire game. It takes about 20 hours to finish, 23 or something. And it has the same kind of gameplay as Deus Ex, but the entire setting is unique. Yeah, it's crazy, but also very rare, because this is before Nehrim. This is the only instance I know of which did a full campaign, and it's pretty incredible. It's tons of voice acting, tons of levels. In a modern, just a sec, I think it's. Okay, it's actually... Oh dear, it's actually raining rather heavily. Hopefully that won't bleed through. But I will say that a lot of people got weirded out by the scenario here. It's just, like the premise here is essentially, yeah. Unfortunately, it's just raining rather bad. I don't have any laundry outside, but one thing I will say, where was I? Like, this entire scenario is, it kind of takes off an internet forum from 2004 or something and brings it to life, right? So, you know, it takes names, it takes avatars, and it kind of turns all of those people, like real people, into characters in the game. And this entire setting is a representation of an internet forum. It's kind of in its kind of a weird way. The forum is dead; it's long gone. But what I really find fascinating is that it still lives on, immortalized here. And because this is a kind of fascinating document of sorts of that era of culture, it kind of leads. Is he humming with the background music? It's a very, it kind of makes you wonder what all of these people were like. Sure, some of them have been caricaturized, flanderized, but you know, like this person, Alpha Operator, that was the handle of someone who was actually in that forum. So that's why everyone here has a bizarre name. Like this is Kunio-kun, who kind of pretends to be Japanese.
Yeah.
Because you brought me that disc, I'll give you the upgrades for 1,000 apiece and a canister. Alright.
Right. And apparently I can't buy that upgrade right now. How much money do I have? Oh, 750. That's fine. But it's really, yeah. So it kind of it's kind of a small capture of that community and that culture, and they've kind of expressed themselves and immortalized themselves in this way. And a lot of people were confused by the idea, according to the articles and reviews, but it's really the first instance that really, that in my opinion, really made me think of this idea of what our avatars mean to us. So, you know, back then, all you had was a name and a 100 by 100 pixel avatar, but, well, you know, look at what I'm doing now. I'm not doing that. I'm doing much more than that. I'm brought myself into 3D, and I'm using, you know, an internet handle, but I'm still essentially doing an internet avatar, but with much greater fidelity than what it used to be the case. And you know, the guys who worked on the Nameless mod had that idea probably around 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago at this point. You know, they don't know each other personally, but they took their names, they took their personalities and their avatars in such primitive form and brought themselves up to a much higher level of fidelity and immortalized themselves that way. And it kind of makes you wonder what all of these people were, you know, like how genuine are these representations? These names? Yeah. Maybe some of the character quirks. Maybe it's been exaggerated a little for the sake of drama, but you know, everyone here is pretty much every single named NPC here is a cameo of people who worked on the game. You know, the reason why I even decided to play the Nameless mod just last week or something like that was kind of inspired by some of the issues that some people were having with this whole VTuber business, right? Like, how much of yourself really does go into this VTuber thing, this avatar thing? How much of you is genuine? How much of you is just playing a character? I'm not really sure if this game has the answers, but it certainly has an interpretation of it. You know, it's rather interesting, I think. Maybe I'm thinking too hard on all this avatar business. I think I've pretty much explored all of the side quests I really want. I could go to the party zone. It's really just grabbing some extra items and more. But I will go and access a secret area here. So this is Planet Deus Ex. This is actually the name of that forum, which is, you know, represented here in Forum City. And this is also one of the factions that you can join in Deus Ex.
Yes? Trescon here. I have an appointment with King Cashew.
Of course, come right in.
It really is a mystery. Like,
Welcome to PDX. I'm sorry, I'm quite late here. Busy at the moment. Dr. Gond, I put him in charge while I'm away. Oh God, what have I done?
what has he done, that monster? So this is the main HQ. It's pretty much everything helping you, you know, pretty much standard spy headquarters with an M and a Q and some other letter of the alphabet. One thing I want to show though, I will visit this guy later, but let's just do it now, is Jonas. And that it's actually pronounced Jonas. This guy is actually the main director of kind of the creative director of the Nameless mod, and he's also been immortalized here as well. Pretty much everyone who worked on the game, yeah, has been immortalized here. And yeah.
Jonas Waver, I'd like to ask you some questions about Andreas.
Oh, this is related to that side quest.
I can't discuss that. Ask me again when your affiliation to this organization has been further affirmed.
I'm Trescon. I was brought in to...
Yes, I know who you are, but your allegiance is still pretty much up in the air as far as I see it. Prove yourself to PDX, and then we'll talk.
You'll only tell me if I join PDX?
Join is not the word I would use. I simply don't trust you as far as I could throw you right now. Come back when you're in the fold, so to speak.
But are you even officially working for PDX yourself?
No. Now, please vacate my lab. I have work to do.
And why is he here? He's not doing anything. He's just a mad scientist. So yeah, I have no idea how real his personality is. It's probably been caricaturized a little. And this is really the only guy whose fate I really know of. Like, you know, after all the projects finish, after this entire project was finished, everyone kind of went their separate ways, but Jonas kept maintaining the website for the Nameless mod, and he ended up making his own video game studio as well. So I might as well do a shout out for that, you know, like his studio at the moment, in fact, is actually working on a spin-off of Divinity Original Sin, which should be coming out this year or something like that. It's pretty cool that, you know, the guy who was most involved in the entire process of developing this game pretty much turned it into a career as well. You know? It's one of those kind of those romantic stories, I suppose, of being able to turn your hobby into a passion. Everyone wants to do that. There's an odd canister here. Let's just break into that. nothing's gonna happen. He's not gonna shoot me or anything like that. Yoink. And yeah, like, I'm pretty sure everyone does this VTuber thing differently. Yeah, and but you know, it's an idea.
Hello, Triscon. I'm Chrissy, the receptionist. It's an honor to meet you. I've seen your record from the CIS days, and I was very impressed.
I hope I can live up to your expectations then. Could you tell me the way to King Cashew's office?
Of course, that's my job. The elevator is down the hall to your right, second door you find. You need to ride the elevator up to the second floor and make a left down the curved hall. Just follow the hall until you can't go any further and then make another left. That'll take you through another curved hall to Cashew's office. You can go right in, he's expecting you.
Thank you. I say, this place looks rather messy. What's going on?
Wow, you're so perceptive. We just moved here. The old administration building was destroyed by a terrorist attack a few days ago. It's all been real fast. Phasmatis managed to get this building for us almost immediately. Used to belong to some construction company called GITM.
The building was blown up?
Yeah, we aren't very popular with those DxO people. I'm not sure why they want to kill us all, but luckily only Cashew was in the building when it happened. And he's invincible because he's a moderator, so nobody was hurt.
Well, that does explain the mess.
Things aren't working very well around here yet. Everybody's still settling in and setting up their stuff. This place isn't exactly perfect. We had to install Jonas's lab in a sort of leisure room, and the armory was set up in the ladies' room after we removed all the plumbing. People are complaining a lot, but I do my best to keep things together.
It looks like you're doing a great job of it too. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Chrissy.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you too. I'll see you later. Don't be a stranger.
That conversation is so gratuitous. There's so much useless dialogue there, and I mean that in the best way, you know. Since this is, you know, done in your free time, you can pretty much fill as much detail as you want. To answer that question though, Hawkeye, pretty much yes. So if you have the floppy disk, since that's essentially a sequence break, it skips the entire dialogue tree and goes straight to the end. So I believe the original dialogue tree is that you actually need to negotiate for money first when he asks you for that floppy. So yeah, you pretty much don't get money if you immediately give him the floppy, yes. Since I keep repeating the first half of the game though, I can't really think of any other bugs for the second half of the game right away. Those two would really be the biggest ones I can think of. Just the ATM one and the floppy. I suppose I have some notes here, but it's mainly on how to get through the beginning of the game quickly. I don't think I actually have any other notes. So let's just open this up. So, yeah, so the maximum amount of credits which you should be able to get is 2,065. And you don't get 300 and something from Kunio-kun if you break the order of events, like the intended. If you break the intended order of events. That's pretty much it. I believe one of the ATM accounts, this is just something I've gathered from the forums, but apparently one of the ATM accounts is actually not found in-game, so I only know about it because someone shared the list. I'm not sure which one it was, but you know, it's something to consider. And I just have some other notes here on how to unlock everything through the ini file, like all the eggs and the bullet time. Yeah, the I suppose if you want like a third glitch, it has to be with the turrets not coming up in Raving's shop, but I would personally prefer them not to come up, because you know, I just stole that Gep gun. It would be nice if if it just stayed that way, if you ask me.
This nail polish is so me, don't you think?
Yeah. You know, it's kind of difficult because at this point, I mean, at the point that the Nameless mod was originally being made, you're already at the point where you kind of just cheat with everything anyway. At this point, most definitely, I would just play however I want and cheat as much as I want, because hardly anyone's going to play this, I think. And yeah, it's really not sure. When I was doing a bit of research before this streaming session as well, apparently if you go to... this is mentioned in the walkthrough actually, but if you go behind Sol's Bar and Grill and actually explore there, apparently you break something later in the game, so there isn't some kind of Narcissus event thingy that considers that sequence break. If you go back there and kill everyone, I'm not exactly sure, since you do need to play the game later. So there's an evil invasion. Let's just say hi.
Evil invasion, I presume.
Exactly as it says on the sign. Wow, Trescott, I really like the code. Did you steal it from JC yourself?
Even I couldn't get away with that. So you're still a resident hacker, eh?
I'm a programmer. I just hack when I need to.
Huh. I think this is the first office of a program I've ever visited without expensive hardware laying around on the floor among pizza boxes and empty cans of pop.
These days it's cans of Monster.
A few days. Then this place will live up to
And
all
Doritos. And noodles, not so much pizza. Pizza is too expensive.
Are you gonna be able to help me open doors and such?
Yeah, sometimes I will, but not all the time though. Not all the doors are linked to the computerized control system. Sometimes I'll be able to help you out on your mission, just like in the PDX-CIS. If nothing else, then by sending you images and other information. Remember that once I'm into a system, security camera's as much use to me as whoever you're trying to sneak past.
Can you enter the WorldCorp systems?
That is a really big rat, isn't
afraid
it?
Not. There's a lot of complications concerning that system, and their network security guys are not idiots as opposed to most other newbies who get jobs like that.
Thanks for the info. I should get going now. Talk to you later.
Alright, bye.
So this is just maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's a pet rat or not. I keep thinking actually that this is actually another cameo of someone. Let me just try to pause it here. Yeah. You probably can't see that text, but it actually says, it doesn't actually say rat, it says weird ass rat. So I have no idea. I keep thinking this is actually just another user from Planet Deus Ex or something, but, you know, if nothing happens, no one's hostile if I kill him. Can't find anything. But I keep thinking it's someone. That's a weird cameo, but I'm sure it's supposed to represent a user. But you know, I'm nice, let's leave him. I don't know why it says weird ass rat. So, yeah. Hello, Kogasa. So this is like I said before, this is the main HQ for the good guys, so to speak, or rather the side of the law. And you can actually explore this place freely with everyone being neutral until you pick a side. So you pretty much can go wherever you want until you deal with the mission, the main mission. So you can go up here and get a briefing and also you know, some extra stuff. Oh, one glitch-ish thing that I can probably show is actually these elevators. Because there's a door button and an up and down button, right? So if you... Like, I just went up the elevator, but if I go back down... Oh, it's not happening here. Oh, there we go. Sometimes... Yeah, so sometimes if I don't close the door first, and I just go up straight away, when I go back down, the door is kind of in the middle of closing. So this is really just a little bit of level design convenience. It's not happening here for some reason. Maybe I'm just not doing it slowly enough. But yeah, since it automatically closes, I just need to press the door button again. Minor... Yeah. So yeah, it auto closes. It's just a minor quality of life thing, you know? So like here, door's not opening, you need to open it manually. I guess when you're infiltrating a level, opening it manually is a thing, like, you know, if I want to sneak my way out. I don't think it... I'm not really sure if it should be fixed or not, actually. I'm not really sure. Because sometimes you do want to open the door manually. It's... Yeah, I'm not really sure how it should be done. Because it's really just a case of the door state being saved during transition, so sometimes you kind of just want to get out and it's actually in the middle of closing. So it's just, you know... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, as you can see there, it's pretty much not at the moment. It just, the level transition just happens right as you press up or down. But, you know, if you do it like that, you can't really speed run it or something like that if you really want. Now this level, literally the second level of this building is really confusing. Always confused me the first time. Because you pretty much do a full 360 to get to the office. So from here, you're facing south, I think. You go that way, and you pretty much do a full 360. I kind of understand why it's the case. One thing that's really clever here is that in order to conserve resources, to conserve resources, you actually infiltrate this building when you're on the other side, or when you're on the other faction. So it kind of needs to be designed like a fortress. Yeah, so if I want to get to King Cashew, I just go to the left side. But I am going to show another Easter egg here, and show the one who's really in charge. So here's the guy who's in charge. This guy named Gandai. I have no idea who he is. He's really tall, you know, much taller than me. But yeah, who cares about King Cashew? This is the guy who's important, you know. He gives out so much useful dialogue. So let's just see what he says.
Is there no shame in this world?
What?
You evil tech monkey. Leave Mr. Box alone. You are controlled, Mr. Bingo Bingo Baba Dingo. You are controlled by Pete the Pigeon. No, wait. Sorry. No, seriously. Sorry. I'm sort of... Do not enter this bot's apartment. You will never return. They will watch you through the Swiss.
The Swiss. The Swiss.
It's evil. Yeah. The cheese cameras will watch you and turn you insane.
What?
I have some photos. In my pants. In the pockets.
Pockets?
Oh my god, the pockets!
Are they hot pockets?
Son. Except you didn't know you had a son, but then you found out he was your son, and then he hid sporks in your head.
Well, that's much worse than the foon.
Oh god, it burns! Ah, too much burning!
Has he been eating too much curry?
Did he get a fire extinguisher?
No, I think he needs some milk.
Too much burning, help! Burning! The pain! The burning! Ah! It burns! Wait. Oh, wait. I'm not on fire. It was all a dream. I was sitting on a soft pillow of Wonder Bread all the time.
No, you were standing here raving on about burning.
No soup for you.
I definitely smell burnt
I
toast.
don't want soup.
Boob suit.
What?
I think... Did you just call me a boob suit?
I think
You
he
stole
did.
the sandwiches with your run silent Augs.
There's only one Aug. It...
Don't try and deny it, boob suit.
I'll set Despot on you.
Oh no.
I gave him a fruitcake. He wouldn't...
What's happening?
The terrible power of the spot. He's strangling me.
No.
Despot, do not strangle Gandaya, you boob suit.
Now you're starting to talk my language. Take these forks, and for the love of God, don't enter Despot's apartment. For the love of God, no! The socks!
And I got some skill points for that. I'm not really sure how useful that is though. I think I just had a stroke. I certainly do smell something burning. Like toast or something like that. Or is that my computer? Yeah, so... This is probably the most silliest character here. I have... Again, you know, going back to what I said about all of these people being real, but also fictionalized a little. I have no idea who Gandaya is. I don't know why he's like this. I'm sure he was one of those silly people on the forum, but yeah, he's been immortalized here in some way. It makes no sense at all. He did give me some sporks though. I suppose that's useful. This is actually a weapon in the game, actually. So I ended up getting a bunch of throwing sporks. Yeah, so I can pretty much be the ninja I want to be. Or I can just drop it here. Yeah, okay, let's just leave that.
Jibber jabber, jibber jabber.
Now, it's pretty much a joke. This guy is officially in charge, but he is actually standing in front of Despot's apartment. And he is the server admin. Ooh, spooky. Unfortunately, you can't actually enter here unless you take the other faction and infiltrate this area. But if you take some information from that playthrough, or just, you know, read the walkthrough, you can actually just enter this area straight up. I just remembered, however, that I forgot to install some augmentations. So I'm just going to pop down just quickly and install that. That should give me a bit of a boost. So let's open the door, head down. Open that door. Ballistic protection or EMP shield. This is pretty useless in my experience, but mainly because I play a stealth. I usually play stealthily, or like I kill everyone before they can see me anyway. For this as well, since I have the Dragon's Tooth sword, no need for combat strength. So I'll just grab this. Huh. I don't have the running augment. I can't remember where I get that. Oh well. So let's just head back up. So, why is it that I'm not getting the door thing now? Right when I need to like show it. But it's not really that big of a deal. I think it just needs like an extra second of lag or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, instead of continuing with the quest, I'm just going to show off this area, I think, which is another bit of silliness. And unless there are some other questions or you want me to keep playing, I'm probably going to call it into that session, this gameplay session. Did you just ask Zero right then and there? Oh, really? That's a shame. Well, that's one mystery solved, I suppose. I will point out, though, that most of these characters aren't actually voiced by their namesakes. So, no idea if, you know, yeah. No idea if this is a real voice, but you know, this is the part that people found memorable about him, I suppose. For better or worse, you know. I don't know what kind of person they were. Maybe they would have liked being remembered like remembered as a crazy guy. Ah, well, there you go. For everyone else who's watching at the moment, Porky Bird is apparently helping Zero Presence with an update to this game 10 years after the fact. So, don't know how many people will play, but yeah. So, let's just get into his computer. I can't hack this, I believe. Well, I might be able to if I have maximum skill, but in any case, I'll just break into this with my notes here. Despot GS rules. Log in. Okay, so let's just delete all the email. Let's just kick someone randomly from the IRC channel. Yep, just give me a second. Gotta get rid of all those trolls. Okay. Alright. That should be it. That IRC channel is probably not active anymore, so I'm sure at this point I've eliminated half of everyone. So everything should be as balanced as things should be. And let's open the apartment door. That was a terrible, terrible joke, wasn't it? Well, you know, that movie is out now. So, yes, you actually, I don't think you can do it from here. But in fact, on some computers you can access here. These doors don't work. You can there is an actual IRC client in this game. So if you go into certain computers, you should be able to get to the Nameless Mod IRC channel. I have no idea how active it is, but it's a thing. Yeah, one computer screen you can find here actually shows a screenshot of the IRC channel as well. So yeah, you know, if you needed help, you could actually go in with the game on, and get help that way. Pretty cool, but at this point, 10 years old, I don't think anyone's there anymore. That said, I am kind of surprised you know what IRC is as well. It's pretty much everyone's moved on to Discord at this point. But anyway, I've opened the obviously conspicuous bookshelf, which seems to be colored differently from everything else, just like a cartoon. And we have some weird portal. So, let's head off to Zen or something, I suppose. And here we are. This is, yeah, a secret area.
Narcissa speaks. The entity has noted that you have transcended the boundaries established for you. Do you not wonder, Avatar, how you were able to recall information that has never been inserted into this branch of reality? Your puppeteer makes his presence apparent.
Yeah, I am puppeteering this avatar as well. This one, not Trestcon. So yeah, this is Despot's apartment. I'm just gonna go through here and unless there's something else you want me to show, like continue with the game, that's probably where I'll, at the very least, take a break, like a 5-minute break or something. Now, for moving it to Discord, if you ask me, I would prefer it if you didn't, actually, because this is kind of a snapshot of 2004, and I'm not really sure how useful that would be. Another thing as well is that even though IRC is less active now, it is the longest lasting networks out there. I mean, it's pretty much, it's still alive, and it's also very old, so you can pretty much count on that still existing as long as you stick to some of the older servers, like, like what you said, Ryzon or something. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility, I suppose. The thing with Discord, though, is that it is privately owned, and it's, it doesn't really fit with this 2004 in-joke aesthetic. Well, the level I'm in right now isn't 2004, it's most definitely some bizarre Quake level, which is more like 1992, but what kind of place is this? It's such a mystery. But yeah, I mean, if you want to try that, I wouldn't stop you or anything like that. Ooh, ow. But, oh no, the walls are coming. Ooh. Okay, I shouldn't have grabbed that. Shouldn't have gone for that lockpick. Oh no, when was the last time I saved? When was it? I'm back here. Yeah, so, old-fashioned game, not much auto-saving, whoops. But yeah, given the activity, I'm not really sure how active the Nameless mod IRC or Discord really is. I mean, I don't really check them out, but it would certainly be amazing if I could actually go in and get some help with this, and run into someone. Let's just save right here. In Raving's weapon shop. I did that earlier during this session and it actually didn't happen. I believe the walkthrough, I really need to get his name actually. Let's just open that. No, I'm just gonna give... I wouldn't know. I can't really remember. I will say though that apparently it should come up. This was years and years and years ago, but I do remember them coming up once when I did that. But I don't remember what version it was. At this point, all I really remember from the walkthrough, what is his name? I really do want to mention him here. Hassat Hunter. Is the guy who made this walkthrough. Like he points out that in the latest patch, 1.0.4, the turrets stopped working. So in 0.3, I suppose they still worked. I would probably have to install that version to check. So here I am actually playing it on 1.0.4 and not the Fan 4 Plus patch, because I didn't really want to fiddle with that stuff. But yeah, I honestly at this point you would have to check yourself. But I do remember the turrets working at least one time, but never on the latest one. So since this is the weekend, I probably will continue playing this. We're at the 2-hour mark actually, so at the very least I should take a break.
Narcissa speaks. The entity has noted that you have transcended the boundaries established for you. Do you not wonder, Avatar, how you were able to recall information that has never been inserted into this branch of reality? Puppeteer makes his presence apparent.
Oh, Oh my. Oh, explosions. What do you mean by that? So if you mean like the IRC thing, I pretty much just find a computer in game and actually just enter the channel and talk to people. I can talk to whoever's in the IRC channel, get hints from them if I'm stuck. So that's something I could do, but this isn't a single player game if that's what you mean. So yeah. No, there's no co-op in this game. It's just, you know, you guys. Ugh. So, everything here is quaky. Well, I just realized, it's literally Quake. Like, rocks are falling, there's literally quaking. Oh, are you referring to something I talked about somewhere else? I really want to... Finding a co-op game to play with would be nice. It's kind of difficult for me to find people to play with, because I guess I'm not really good at finding people to play with. So because of that, I've never really owned a lot of co-op games. Yeah, if you can do co-op in Nameless mod, I'm sure you can do co-op in Deus Ex as well. But that would require a bit of work. And I mean a bit as in a lot. you know what I mean. It's pretty much the same thing. Oh yeah, that depends on how it's designed. So like, I only played Deus Ex way after the fact. I was more of a Half-Life kid. But for something like Sven Co-op and Synergy, which is the one for Half-Life 2, I think that's what it's called. It was pretty much a large scale map redesign. So since like the key, I think the key thing that needs to be done actually is that you need to add additional triggers for each level transition. So you know, to let the player spawn or something like that. Now Deus Ex is a linear game, and Half-Life is a linear game, so they will probably work. I'm not sure how it will work here. What am I supposed to do? I'll pull this. Oh dear. Hello. Of course, that's really just my conjecture. I mean, I've not really done any kind of level design or game development in years, so like I can understand what's going on, but I probably can't, you know, tell you how exactly it's going to work. Ugh, what is with all this stuff? Okay, maybe. What's with these bodies? So spooky. Ooh. Well, you know what I mean. Where am I supposed to go? I have no idea why that actually happens. Like when I kill the Karkian, I think it's called, the carcass actually changes to that. Let's see, I already pulled that, which opens these. So it's pretty much a bunch of traps. Where am I supposed to go from here? Can't remember. Ooh, right. Whew. I'm just gonna use... Am I supposed to go through here? Yeah, let's just use bullet time. Ooh, what's this? What on earth? Oh, and there are things staring at me. Hello. Don't kill me. Ah. So yeah, this is pretty much. Oh. Okay, combat time. I hear combat music. If I can actually swing the weapon. So I kind of have to ask Hawky Bird, what is your involvement with this 2.0 update? Because, like, were you an original staff member? Like, were you one of the people who originally worked on it? The Nameless mod? Because you managed to answer that question about Gandaya rather quickly. Just out of curiosity. Kind of surprised you even found this stream. But oh, I guess that works too. Yeah. I remember planning on doing a little bit of modding for Deus Ex, actually. Oh dear, what's that? Oh, I'm being pushed out. But I actually couldn't. I couldn't really be bothered with trying to install everything and get it to work correctly on my computer. I wanted to increase the light radius of the light here, because it does use this primitive method of just putting a point line at the cursor, which means that it doesn't really illuminate everything that well. So, like, broadly speaking, maybe this was a thing in Deus Ex as well, but an issue in the Nameless mod is that there are a lot of dark areas, maybe too much. So, yeah, with the size of the map, got lost pretty easily. But yeah, that's another thing. What's this? Ooh. Right, I need to like quick save and get through this. Is that a rendering error? I can't really remember. Oh, there's a really big Karkian over there. Just duplicate some more stuff. But yeah, it was kind of a lot of effort for a really simple thing. Because there are some good things with Shifter and there's some good things with Biomod. But yeah, at the moment I'm just using Shifter on this, since apparently Biomod does not work on the Nameless mod. But yeah, I like some things in Biomod, not everything, but I do like some things. So the last time I played Deus Ex was actually with that, so that was kind of cool. So, big, epic boss. Maybe. Say hi.
Welcome to my flat, Trestcon. Make yourself at home.
What? The last thing I'd want to be right here is home, okay? You call this a flat? It's a cheap horror movie is what it is.
You sound...
Oh, I just realized that Trestcon kind of sounds like David Hayter.
Shit. What the fuck is happening here? Stuff has been collapsing on me, Karkians bursting out of the walls, swinging axes, and lava everywhere.
I'm the admin of this city. As such, I need a certain amount of drama.
Say,
Drama.
How do you leave this place?
I don't.
What about when you need to go to the store? Pick up some milk, or cheese?
I can't be bothered eating. It's so trivial.
How is it trivial? You need to eat to survive.
I am a mortal, Trestcon. I'm above such primitive...
Ah, the plight of an immortal. Getting tired of even eating.
Well, that's why I haven't stepped in anything down here. Thank God.
Ugh.
Snack.
Don't even make me think about that, please.
Snack.
So, I think I hear my mother calling me. Gotta go.
And not a moment too soon.
Ugh. So, this is Despot, the admin for the entire forum. Dun dun dun. Since, as you saw, I got messages from the Narcissus entity, which means that this entire level and my entire present here is actually a massive, massive sequence break. And I don't believe this actually counts towards the Narcissus secret ending. But you know, every time you do a fourth wall break or sequence break, the Narcissus entity kind of points out that you know, you've done something, which is a nice little joke. One thing that is nice though is that you do get a couple of nice items here. Oh, and it's unlocked. No, it's not. So you get this canister, which should be useful maybe. Some ammo, biocells, binoculars are always useless. How does he get down here to refuel? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think you can kill him if you want to. You just say hi, and that's it. And then you get out through this pipe here.
We hope this escapade has satisfied your curiosity. Be aware that you have entered this place only because we have allowed it. You may have bent the causality of the construct, but it has not been broken. Now...
Oh, I just cut off the dialogue. Oh well. It pretty much just said, you know, continue before we... before you exhaust our patience. Yeah, I probably should have stood there. And now I'm in the corporate district.
Hey man, don't tell those firewalls we're down here, man. They don't like us here. This is full of stuffed suits.
Excuse me?
Keep us in the slums.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody. What are you doing here?
Thanks. We're just here because it's easier to get by here. We've always sort of been here. It's a good place because nobody comes into the alley.
It's easier to get by? Easier to find money, you mean?
Yeah, people got more money here. Sometimes they're more generous. Sometimes they're just cheaper, though. It's different.
Know anything about the kidnapping of Deus Diablo?
Yeah, man, but, could you give us some money? Just as a, you know, token of your goodwill.
Let's just give him some credits. I've already cheated with plenty.
Yeah, here's 10 credits.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I know what happened to him. Pete saw it. He was there when it happened, man. Pete says Diablo was kidnapped by aliens.
Aliens?
Honest, Pete says he was kidnapped by little green men.
Pete says Diablo was kidnapped, or that Pete was kidnapped himself?
Diablo, man, come on, take this a little seriously.
Green aliens, yes, of course.
Kidnapped by aliens.
Does Pete maybe drink at all? Maybe once in a while?
Well, yeah, he does drink a little sometimes, actually. He's usually drunk this time of night, especially on the weekends. But I have no reason not to trust his word. Pete will never lie.
Right.
Okay.
I think the,
Maybe I'll see if I can find any little green men to interrogate.
I think he's having a little bit too much to, you know, drink.
Hey, thanks for the money.
The only green aliens I really know of would be Space Invaders with the green screen. If I want to go back, I can. But it's pretty much just a secret area here in the corporate district. And that's apparently where the old headquarters were before it got destroyed. How strange. And yeah, that's pretty much all the weird stuff I think I can show. There is one more side quest I can do. which is just to go to the party zone, get some intel, have a drink. It's pretty much, it's very irrelevant. And I remember on the first time I played, I actually didn't even know about the party zone now that I think about it, because it really was just so far away. There's no visible landmarks, and you know, everything here is just, everything in between it is just a blank building. So I remember actually not knowing about this area really. I just knew, like I remember hearing a mention of party zone and then like forgot about it. So this place definitely needs to be more visible, I think. But let's just show this off, because this is another side quest. So it's pretty much just another nightclub.
Welcome to the club. I'm Loha Hero. Enjoy your evening.
Hello.
Welcome to the party zone. I'm Dreamcast. Stay out of trouble and we'll all get along just fine.
Yeah. It really is just an independent side quest, I think, or just a side area. Like, this has no relevance to the plot at all. Like, you're kind of told here by Cashew, I think, to ask around, get a little bit of intel from Dazzle.
I know you.
Huh? You mean me?
No, the guy behind you wearing a fake chicken on his head and slapping some other guy in the face. Yes, I was talking to you. Ah. I'm Daza. Pleased to meet you. You're Trescon, if my memory serves.
Yes, I am. Should I know you?
Nope. I heard about you on the TV, and how you come to investigate Deus Diablo's disappearance.
Yep, that old story.
I guess if the PDX guys thought you could do the job, you have a good chance of finding him.
I guess I have some expectations to live up to.
You want a drink by any chance? It's on me.
I need to get going anyway.
I'm on the job. I have to get going anyway.
Alright, suit yourself.
So, the slums area, which is the third map, where I showed off Yard Bomb and his fairly useless shortcuts, in my opinion. That area seems completely irrelevant, and it only really becomes relevant for like a few missions when you get to the second half of the game. This, however, is completely irrelevant, because you're kind of told to go here for a little bit of information, but you don't get anything.
Gabriel hates everyone. PDX, DxO, llamas, ghosts.
So yeah, it's. Oh, I think I just froze a bit there. Ooh, game froze. That's not good. Why is it frozen? How long have I been running this? That's not good. Ooh, dear, it's frozen. Oh, there we go.
How does he feel about newbies?
Why don't you ask him?
But yeah, this place is completely irrelevant. I need to check the walkthrough to see if I can get an Easter egg here. I'm not sure. But you kind of just talk to a couple of people. I'm actually... is it relevant in the World Corp line? I'm not sure. But yeah, you kind of just get a quick side quest here.
Yo, bro, I'm kind of busy. But if I may, do you do requests?
What's that supposed to mean?
Every raver's destiny lies in your hands, you dig?
Sure, I'll help you out.
Here's the score. My deck is low, juice is dry on my bioelectricity.
Your bioelectricity? What, like an external augmentation system?
You're one sharp tool, that you are. I can't leave, can't go too far. Disconnects, it all shuts down. So go to the basement, underground.
To get some extra batteries.
That's the plan, that's the gist. Be ye warned, the basement's dangerous. Mine are
That's
like
not a rhyme.
Contagious. The glow
That's not a
burns
rhyme
red,
either.
Not your blue. They come in 3, not 1 or 2.
That's
so keep
okay.
an eye out. Don't stick your foot out.
That's
The robots
technically
are
not a
stirring,
rhyme.
Cameras worrying.
Find you 3 red biocells. Got it. Where in the basement are they?
They're in my office.
Sounds easy enough. Is that all?
Not quite. There's one last thing. Don't use my cells. They'll cause you pain.
That's not a rhyme either.
Bounty of plenty, reward and wait is the access code to a code lock safe.
Is this guy even a DJ?
Cool.
So go downstairs, grab a couple biocells, and that's pretty much the side quest. Oh, and I'm frozen again. Oh, okay. Let's do this quickly. Save there. Unlock that? Oh, I can't unlock that. What was the quest? Oh, that's useful. You're not even giving me the key. Yay. Let's just... No one's gonna care. Oh right, this doesn't do enough damage. Whoops. Whoopsie. I'll just unlock it. That sound again, that door sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but this stock sound, it's the main place I remember it from. It probably comes up in a lot of early games as well, but in GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64, that's all through the door sound. So it probably drew from a generic library of some sort. There's a robot. So, pretty simple side quest. Sneak around and grab some biocells. If I can find them. Hello. Oh. That's not good. Okay, so, just pretend I'm very good at stealth. So much. Just ignore that property damage. I'm doing this side quest as intended. In a very loose definition, but yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah. Don't worry, I'll just edit that out later. In you know, in the recording or whatever. Let's see, drawer. Oh, it's a grenade. Why aren't there any keys? That's another one. There's number 3. could have sworn that the third one was actually in here. I guess my memory was wrong. Well, but I got all three. And let's just return it.
Mission man, got a cell attack.
Yep, here you go.
Yeah, bro, it's like a gasm. The energy's flowing through this chasm. You're the best, went to the test. You got the load, here's the code. 90210.
90210?
Beverly Hills?
90210, oh yeah. Lying inside this safe, you'll find the booty of medkits to heal your body and please your mind.
You guys keep that stuff here.
I don't really need
bouncers.
medkits.
Is it really wise to steal from the bouncers?
I don't steal, I got permission. I hacked the AI of my own volition.
Alright.
That's an okay rhyme.
Hey hombre, what's your tag? I think I should know who got rid of my lag.
Name's Trescon.
Mr. Treskin, he's a god alright. Kept my party going through the night.
Thanks.
Okay. Where's that safe? I think there's an upstairs region. Yep. You know, I've played so much of this in Deus Ex that I actually occasionally get mixed up between which is which. Like, am I playing Deus Ex right now? I thought this was from the Nameless mod, or vice versa. I really have played this too much. Oh, I think this is... that's the basement key. Oh well. That's a picture of Warren Spector, for those who don't know. He is pretty much the guy who designed the original Deus Ex. Pretty nice that his, bit of fan art is here as well. Oh right, this is the person I get intel from, so I can get to talk to Mercedes.
Who are you? And why didn't you knock?
The name's Trescon. I'm sorry I didn't knock. You must be the proprietor of this establishment.
Because I can't knock,
Yeah,
unless you want me to punch a wall.
My name's Mercedes. Can I help you with something?
I want to ask you some questions.
Shouldn't you ask the bartender then? That's the usual procedure, isn't it? I'm a little busy right now, to be honest.
She's really soft-spoken, isn't she? Just noticed.
I want to know if you know
It's
anything
nice.
about that.
Oh, I see. You should have said that right away. Deus Diablo was a regular here. He was at the bar just a few hours before he's supposed to have disappeared.
Oh, that's quite an unexpected turn of events. Nobody else I've talked to knew anything at all. Did you see anything suspicious? Anybody watching him in a funny way?
I don't think I'll be much more use than anyone else. As far as I've heard, nobody saw anything. He just vanished into blue air. And I don't remember anybody watching him, or even looking more suspect than people usually do in the club.
Do you have any security tapes I could check?
I'm afraid I can't even help you with that. We don't keep surveillance in the club. It's bad for business, if you catch my drift.
I understand.
Do you have any other questions?
No, actually.
Not really. I'll be back if more questions pop up, okay?
Sure. You can come by
It's
whenever. Nice
it's just
meeting
my
you,
animation. The avatar
Sorry
face
I was
capture
so harsh on
messing
you
up.
before.
No problem.
So for this avatar, when I turn to the side to get a drink or something, the face recognition fails. So it sometimes just goes like that. Just ignore that unless you want to, don't clip it or something like that. Oh, that's the basement safe password. Oh, I should have gone up here earlier. Put that out of the way. Ugh. Pass keypad. Beverly Hills 90210. There we go. And now I can open that with medkits, ammo, darts, which are completely useless, and weapon mods. I'll just get one, so I can increase the magazine to 7, which feels a bit more realistic, I think. Just as soon as the cache flushes or whatever. There we go. Okay. Now this is pretty much everything I wanted to kind of show in this particular session. Looks like it took nearly 3 hours at this point. Since this is the weekend, I'm happy to continue playing and talking about things if you really want, but I do need to take a break, like probably 5-10 minutes at the very least. And yeah, well, thankfully it's just the afternoon for me, so I can just go on much longer. The previous times I've done a big stream like this, it actually went into the night, which was very much not healthy for me, but I can go for longer if you want me to keep showing this game. It's really up to you guys, especially you, Hawky Bird. You seem to be the most valuable person here at the moment, since you're actually working on updating this game. But yeah, after the break, I suppose, I'll actually be playing the mission. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to keep watching and see what I have to show, that's entirely up to you. Surprised you're up at this hour, actually. It pretty much depends on what you're looking for. I think I've gone over everything in terms of secrets and glitches that I can think of, so it's pretty much just me going through the game and finishing it. So, like, yeah, I mean, I showed this secret area as well. I still haven't decided which side I want to join either. That's pretty much the big decision I need to make. Oh, yeah, so this area really dark. So yeah, let's put a save here, just standing right here. And yeah.